Hey guys, this is Greg. In this short video I'm going to show you the exact steps to set up your website and create your first page of content. In the time that it takes to make a cup of coffee, you'll basically have your own website live. Now, you might be wondering why I'm doing this, and the reason is that again and again I've seen people struggle to start freelancing or consulting, and I actually remember what that was like. I knew that I had a marketable skill set. I even knew people, former coworkers who sat right next to my cubicle who were already freelancing and consulting, but I still hadn't done much to start. Days ticked by, they turned into weeks, they turned into months, and each time I'd run into one of those coworkers, at lunch or somewhere, or see an email from them, or see how other people were getting paid for freelancing and consulting work, I'd kick myself for not doing anything to get started. So if you're like me, starting is sometimes the hardest part of something, and once you've taken even just a tiny first step, it's a lot easier to keep at it and keep going. And then you actually make progress. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you in 4 or 5 minutes here the exact steps to start and get yourself unstuck. But why am I showing you how to set up your website and create your first pages? It's because I've had literally hundreds of people just like you email me saying you're stuck. And one of the things that I've seen again and again is you feel like you need some credibility before reaching out to potential clients. So a website is a great way to create that credibility, and besides, it's way easier than you think, and it'll actually get you unstuck, and getting unstuck is more than half the battle. So let's see if I can do this here. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do to set up your website is, if you just go onto my blog, any page on my blog or the tools and resources page, you can scroll down. There's going to be in the sidebar a link for Bluehost. We'll click that, and at this point I'm going to start our timer. Click Get Started Now, choose the plan, and then enter in the name of the domain that you want to use for your website. It's going to check and see if the domain is available. Yep, it's available. And at this point you would enter in your information and choose a plan. You can uncheck these services, you don't really need them. And then enter in your payment information, click that you confirm, and then submit. And at that point it'll take you to Bluehost. I already have a Bluehost account, so I'm just going to bounce over there now. And from the home page, at this point you'll want to install WordPress. So there's just a super easy tool for that. You click install. This is the domain that I bought earlier, so I'm going to check the domain. It's going to just take a few seconds to do that before I can install WordPress. Agree to the terms, and now it's going to start installing WordPress, all the files related to that, the WordPress database that holds all your content, and then you can see the progress up here on the top. So this just takes a minute or so for it to complete, and you can see the progress as it's going ahead here. So if I just go to the website right now, I can see here's my domain up at the top, and it's basically just a parked website. There's no information, there's no content on it yet. So after WordPress completes the installation, if I refresh this page, I would see a different different content here. It's still basically a parked page because I haven't created any content and haven't made the website live. So I'm going to go here. This is complete the installation. I'm going to go and look at the credentials. These are basically just the your password that you'll need to save so that you can log into your website. So now if I go and refresh my my domain, now I see website coming soon, and we'll go to the admin login. So I'll type in the login here. This will take me to my WordPress dashboard, at which point I can make my site live. Okay, so dashboard coming soon. Click here to make your site live. Let's go ahead and do that. Now let's go and look at our website. And it's actually live. So there's no content. There's, well, actually some boilerplate content on there. So we're going to change that. We're going to add a couple of pages to our site, because basically if you're a freelancer or a consultant, you're going to at least want an about page let's add a little photo here. Upload. I've got a photo already here, so I'm just going to drag it over there. I'm going to remove the caption. Left, full size, sure. So we're going to insert it into the post. I'm going to publish that page so now that it's live. Before it was just like in draft status. I'm going to add a new page for services, because basically I want a services page and about page. Publish that. So I've got a couple of pages on my site at this point. Now what I want to do is I want to customize a few things on the website. I'm going to go to the site identity. Right now it's just got this sort of boilerplate thing here, and I'm going to just enter in what we do here. Something like that, save and publish it, and there is what it looks like there. So I've added something to the site identity. I'm going to make a menu so that those pages that I just created can be found easily. So I'm going to name my menu, create it. I'm going to add those 2 pages to it, and I know this is going kind of fast, but I just want to show you how quickly it can be done. Save and publish that, and now I've got my 2 pages here up as a menu. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the front page a static front page. I don't want this sort of default blog post that's in there to appear on my home page. I want to make it a static page, and I want it to be the about page. So that's what I've done here. I've inserted that, click save. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some contact information so that prospective clients can actually contact us easily. I'm going to put that in right here in the sidebar. So if I go to sidebar, and I'm going to add a text widget, click on that, drag it up to the top because I want the contact to appear at the top. I'll add my phone number and email. Then I'll go and choose this option for automatically add paragraphs. That way there's a hard return between those 2 lines there. Save and publish it. Now if I go to my domain and I refresh it, I'll see that my site is live with all the changes. So here I made the changes to the name of the website, the tagline for it, here's my menu, here's the about page that's our static front page, the contact information. If I was a user, I want to go to the services page, click there, and there's our services thing. I've got this edit here because I'm logged in to my WordPress account, but as a regular user you wouldn't see this whole bar up at the top, you wouldn't see the edit thing here, none of that would be visible, but basically you're live. And I'm going to stop the stopwatch here, a little over 4 or 5 minutes, but still super quick, and it was all point click, there was no code involved, very, very simple. Okay, so I use Bluehost.com for all my hosting. It's dirt cheap, only $3 or $4 a month. Basically, it's the cost of a latte or a cup of coffee at Starbucks per month. There are lots of other hosting companies out there. Some are really good, some are kind of shaky. I've used several web hosting companies over the years, and I've had really good experience with Bluehost. It's super easy to use. They make it super easy to use, and they have really great customer support. But it's up to you. The choice is yours. So to recap, I showed you how to get a domain for your site, set up WordPress, and create your first content, your first pages, and a menu for that for your website. Now it may take you a bit longer if you're not familiar doing this, but it's still very easy. And if you were scared about that process, hopefully you aren't now after seeing the exact steps and how straightforward the whole process really is. And you saw that there is actually no coding involved. There's no HTML, no CSS. The whole thing is basically clicking a button here and there, and then magically your website is live. So if you had any reservations about setting up your website before and not knowing how to do it, hopefully you won't have any excuses anymore, and you can even use the steps below to help you through the process. So I hope you found this useful, and thanks for joining me today.